Now this video is about the history of Santa Clara Valley Medical Center in San Jose and how they rip off their patients and mistreat them and make them think that they're doing them a favor. Now, let's start with their own site. Then we'll go on to testimonies that I've recorded from patients that I've interviewed around the area of Bascom, around the McDonald's, where unfortunately somebody was shot around that area. Now, to show you the kind of devil activity that goes on around there. Now, this is from scc.gov, and so we go on. Emergency Psychiatric Services is operated by the Acute Psychiatric Service Division of Valley Medical Center and is the only 24-hour locked emergency psychiatric room in Santa Clara County. EPS is charged with the evaluation, treatment, and appropriate referral of all patients who arrive on the VMC campus either voluntarily or involuntarily. Most patients arrive at EPS on an involuntary legal status. Evaluation, assessment, treatment, and observation are completed in most cases in less than 24 hours. All patients are evaluated and assessed by a qualified psychiatrist. This part's key. Notice they're saying, and these guys are paid a ton of money. So why does it take within 24 hours for you to assess a patient? I mean, call me insane, but that seems kind of ridiculous to me. That seems like, hey, we're getting paid. We're gonna bill you for a lot of money and pretend that we don't have the time to take 1 fucking minute to assess you. Because the average interview, it turns out, is less than 5 minutes when they do this so-called evaluation. Now, we go to following care at EPS. A patient may be admitted to a hospital for further inpatient care or referred out to community treatment, depending on the needs of the patient. What do you mean, depending on the needs of the patient? That right there is a lie, and you should sue them for that, because it is depending on the needs of the hospital. For example, if the hospital is full, they're not going to refer you to that hospital because there's no beds. If they can't afford to take you on, they're not going to take you to the hospital. But of course they can, because they're milking your insurance. The ambulance ride alone, if you do the research, costs $1,000, even if you're going just down the street. So it goes on. The Alliance for Community Care's residential housing, Julian Street Inn, and other homeless shelters, drug and alcohol programs, San Andreas Regional Center, the Eastfield Ming Kong Crisis Team, and private sources. Private sources, I wonder what those private sources would include. Now, I don't know, okay? Because they keep this private, top secret kind of thing, you know? But what I do know is that I would definitely venture to say there are a bunch of eugenicist bastards who are making fucking money off this shit. Now, we go on to neurobehavioral programs. Interesting that they call that's the name of it, right? A neurobehavioral program. The neurobehavioral programs operated in Alameda County, Morton, Bakar, Medical Hill, and Garfield are a collaboration with 9 other Bay Area counties and are designed to meet the particular needs of a behaviorally difficult patient population who are disabled due to brain injury and have a tendency to act out physically and verbally. So let's get this straight. You are now shipping the patient away, charging them a ton of money, and accusing them of acting out physically and verbally. Excuse me, the last time I saw this, that it was one of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring up the Constitution for you. I'm going to take the time to bring up the Constitution for you, because many of you don't get this. That what they've just described is illegal, fraudulent, and demands a lawsuit. It screams at the top of the lungs, sue me because I'm doing you wrong. So, we go to the Bill of Rights. Okay? Now, what does it say about the Bill of Rights? What does it say about the Bill of Rights? Article the 8th, Amendment 6. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process of obtaining witness in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. But aren't they just telling you right now that they're accusing you of something, detaining you for over 24 hours because they're transferring you to another facility? So they are incarcerating you. It is unconstitutional. And if you look at the eugenics history of psychiatry, if you look at, okay, let me talk about a few people. Jovan Raskovic, who demanded the ethnic cleansing of Croats and Muslims because of his belief that they were racially inferior to him. Radovan Karadzic and Prime Minister Milosevic. They were the guys who established the torture camps. And 2 out of 3 of them were psychiatrists. Now, in 1950, the White House had a conference of psychiatrists where they discussed global domination. Let's not forget Brock Chisholm, who said, and I quote, "To achieve world government, it is necessary to remove from the minds of men their individualism, loyalty to family, religions, and religious dogmas." Okay? Let's not forget, in 1940, a British psychiatrist, J.R. Rees, would set the agenda for psychiatry for the next 60 years at the National Council of Mental Hygiene. Now, those facts I got from the documentary Psychiatry and Industry of Death. I independently verified them, and I'm now repeating them to you as given due credit. Note all that. So, the history of Valley Medical Center is killing many people, not giving them a fair trial, provoking them to act out so they can then be paid kickbacks for transferring them to their favorite institution. Just like the Federal Reserve, pickpocketing you with 2 hands. I call for a class action lawsuit by the people of San Jose on Valley Medical Center for human rights abuses. I call for the United Nations to investigate psychiatry in America and around the world for human rights abuses. I call for an end of psychiatric institutions for violation of the 6th Amendment of the Constitution, which says in all criminal prosecutions, you can't just detain somebody without charging them a crime, without reading them their rights. If you say you need to be detained because you have a mental disorder and you are acting criminally, then you have to give the fair trial. And anybody who hasn't received one is due reparations. Thank you.